So let's go. The principal, the main man, the chief dog, the oldest dog in the world, Peter K. Eddy. You've got the magic smile on your face. You had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun, Colin. It was really great for me. They said I did 8 minutes, so Willie asked me if I stopped at the tea for tea on the way up. I said I must have.
So, Peter, you've spent a lot of time running teams, and you've put your own, you've put a lot of Peter K. Eddy into motorsport. How does it feel on the other side now where I saw your hands on the steering wheel. There was tension there, but it's got to be fun driving a car.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's always a bit of tension, especially the first run up the hill. When I pulled away, it was so slippery. I had to back off completely and then start again. And then at the corner under the bridge, I always back. It was wet there, and it was also I think the water runs across the track there, and also a bit of oil, so it was slippery. But the rest of the way up, I enjoyed it, and I did nicely, and I enjoyed my first run.
I think that's the important part. You bring the car back, it's in one piece, you in one piece, you've got smiles, and the atmosphere is not as intense as it's going to be in the rest of the weekend, and also not as intense as some of the racing. It's that camaraderie and the relationships.
Absolutely. You know, we're having lots of fun. I've spoken to a lot of people. A lot of people come up to me. They know me, but I don't know them because, as you know, I've been involved for over 45 years. So it's difficult to know everyone. But I know the faces, but not always the names.
Peter, thanks a lot for talking to us. Keep it safe, keep it tidy, and above all, keep the passion and smile.
Absolutely. Thanks, Colin. Thank you very much.
Awesome. A true legend. So have a look.
The line behind them should be the Lotus Renault Europa. It is indeed of Steve Kimpton. And he is now on track for his second run. Didn't get quite the start he wanted, though, that's for sure. And you've got to work on that. You've got to get everything pin perfect here. If you're not pin perfect on every centimeter of this course, you will not be able to do an average lap or an average run of about 190 k's an hour, which of course is the current record held by Andre Besaidnout in his F1 Gould car, which we will see in action tomorrow and Sunday. Today, he is playing in a slightly different version. It's also a purpose-built hill climb car, but it's the Lola Cosworth T460 that Besaidnout is piloting today. Big American muscle standing by and about to make its way onto the track. That is Craig Wessels in the Pontiac GTO, and the 1968 V8 makes its way on track. I don't know if we've got Peter Gale here. He hasn't made his way out onto the circuit just yet in the Marcus GT3000. And we'll just double check that when we get into free practice 3. If he's not there by then we'll get confirmation that he's not going to be making it out. But he didn't make it out for his first run in the 59 car. And Gale in the Marcus Ford might have had an issue. Chris Champion should be the next one up in the MG Rover. As expect a very good run. Peter K. Eddy will be trying to follow him in the 2002 as he heads up for Team Old Dog and Nathan's Motorsport. And he'll be definitely in for a shot. 20 up onto the line is Niels Vosloo. He's in a 911 RS. And let's have a look and see, do the lap times change? Are we going to see any changes there from Willie Hepburn on his first run? Does he get into the top 10? I expect to see him there close to the front 10 as Peter K. Eddy heads towards the S's and Vosloo heads towards turn 1. As I said, Vosloo running Martini Racing colours, but also the orange wheels, orange bumpers and orange wing mirrors of what would be a Gulf Racing coloured Porsche. That famous of Willie Hepburn. Doesn't look like Hepburn got into the top 10 on that first run. No, Nathan was there. Nathan was in the top 5 on the first run, so Graham Nathan now makes his way back onto the battleground. Trying to get Team Old Dog Nathan's Motorsport 635 CS into that top 10 again. Graham Nathan, a very capable driver, has spent oodles of time, multiple SA champions, not only on 4 wheels but also on 2. He was a very capable motocross rider in his day. I won't have to bring that too much into assistance today as he heads up the hill. One car I haven't seen go up just yet is Charles Arton. I'm not quite sure if he's actually here. I didn't see him down in pit lane in his 240Z. So that might be another car that hasn't quite made it out here today. Trevor Tuck certainly had a good run at it on his first one in his Julia GTAM.
Dog, and he's having a word with his team boss. Graham, can we have a word? Come on, Graham. I'm not Graham. Welcome, and I'll see you at the top of the sheet there. It was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's a big surprise, and I reckon they should just recheck the timing system because although she's very, very quick, she's
It's a
not
49,
that quick.
not a 39.
But you're a super fast driver, and you slimmed down. You've lost about 40 kilograms just for this event alone, and so you're not lugging anything dead weight up the hill.
Now you're talking shit again, as usual, and no.
Graham, but you smiling. Peter, you've got to be proud bringing two really well-prepared cars, and they come back in one piece, and never mind what Graham says, the official timing is he's at the top.
Yeah, he's at the top. I'm sure he's the quickest saloon car around, that's for sure.
Some of the fast cars haven't gone. Let's see if we
And now also being helped out not only by Sabet Batteries but also by Universal Healthcare, which are of course our official medical team for this weekend. Graham Nathan is the man just behind him in his 3-litre CSI, and that 3.4-litre I should say CSI BMW gets off the line very rapidly and heads up the hill to close down on Willie Hepburn. I don't think he's going to catch Willie Hepburn with the 20-second lead he's got, but Graham Nathan is certainly looking for a top 5 overall here. He's had some great times so far, and expect to see the times changing at the top for a refresh of that timing monitor. Once our timing monitor refreshes, we're probably going to be seeing a change up to probably Willie Hepburn and Graham Nathan close to the front. I don't think Peter K. Eddy will be too close to the front end as well, but he may be in that top 10 in that 2002 that he's about to head onto the mountain with. As I said, if you look on the left-hand side and right-hand side of those cars, running the livery that his famous BMW race cars used to run in Standard Group N, in Group 1 days, and of course in touring car days, where he was the sponsor of some of South Africa's most famous racing drivers. And some of those drivers are actually here today as part of the Jaguar Samola Hill Climb and part of Jaguar's activation. Coming to the line will be Graham Nathan, and Roy Campos has just set the fastest lap, or fastest run of qualifying 2, a 48.333. Nathan drops the hammer and gets off the line in the CS. As it heads to the top of the hill there, Graham Nathan going to be pushing hard to try and ensure that that CSI BMW of his, I beg your pardon, CSI BMW of Team Old Dog Racing and Nathan's Motorsport is certainly in the front end of this battle and looking for a chance to give the boys a run for their money. Forsloo lines up as well. And Niels Forsloo in his 911 RS will certainly be looking to stay within the top 20 that he's allocated with his start of the event. Nathan is pushing hard. Look at how he's giving that car everything it can through the S's. He's clipped the apexes absolutely to perfection. Has not put a wheel wrong, and he heads up to the line now. We're going to see Graham Nathan, I think, at the top of the leaderboard as he comes to complete that lap. Possibly very close, or maybe just behind Willie Hepburn, who also had a phenomenal run to the top of the hill there in the Opel record. So that Opel record, remember, of Willie Hepburn, he is running 7-litre V8, and Graham Nathan currently piloting 3.4-litre V6 CSI. So, or 6-litre, I should say, not a V6, it's a 6-litre. Oh, incredible stuff. Historicracing.co.za, universal.co.za on that car as the big Ford Capri makes its way back out into the battlelands. And Johan Barnard behind the wheel of that car. It's a nice version. I think it actually may even be a Piranha version of that. I stand to be corrected. I'm 100% sure on the Capri versions, but maybe somebody out on Facebook land can tell me about that. I think it may be a Capri version, or a Piranha version of that Capri that Johan Barnard is piloting here today.
over here. To go that way. Graham Nathan, that was you starting to push the limits now. I think you're 4th overall, which is kind of impressive for an old car and an old driver.
Easy, Tiger. The old driver, I finally pulled my finger out my arse, and now I'm starting to drive this thing. And the car's very good, Colin. It's a really nice car. The team's done a great job. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to drive.
The smiles up and down the pit lane and that level of enjoyment, the nervousness of this morning seems to be gone, and now it's confidence. And so you've gone through qualifying, you've got 2 heats left, and then you get the final run where everything counts.
Well, yeah, we've qualified in our class. So what happens is there's another qualifying run, and then a top 3 shootout, and then there's King of the Hill, which is the top 10 of the day. So if we can get this old girl into the top 10 cars and keep it there, which we currently doing, I'll be very proud of it. And yeah, that's a great day.
Amazing the emotional bond that guys have with a car. And you talk about the old girl, and you've lived with this car. You've had a wild dance with the trees with it. But it's that emotion. Isn't that what makes Classic Friday such fun?
100%. When you call it emotion, this car and I have tried to kill each other. I tried to kill her, she tried to kill me, and we've just got through that. You know, it's like a marriage. Eventually, you just keep going. You know, so no, we have a bond. The car's great. Classic Car Friday, or this whole hill climb event, is so what motorsport needs in this country, where camaraderie comes to the fore instead of the cutthroat. Who's trying to find out who's cheating with what? We just arrive here, have a blast, show off really, really nice motor cars, and go up the hill as fast as we can. It's wonderful.
So who in your mind has got the Gees of the Day award so far?
Me, of course.
Graham, Nathan, great stuff watching you. Keep up the entertainment. Thanks.
Pleasure, anytime.
Right, there's a particular car.
You've got that meter and a half to play with to get the car back up and going and get going. And I've seen it on a few occasions today. One prime example, of course, is the man who sat in 3rd place overall, Willie Hepburn, with a 44.799. He was 3rd after qualifying 2, and he put brand new rubber on the car. So as soon as he kicked it in, it actually gave him a false sense of security, and he didn't realize that if he actually just dropped the clutch and went, the grip was there. Having not had new rubber on, it caught him out slightly.
Yeah.
So just,
you got to think about
it.
it.
It affected him slightly. So that 44 to 43 could have been a difference between himself and Andre Besaidno's 2nd place.
Interesting. Here's Steve Kimpton in that beautifully turned out Lotus. I love these racing colours. They are gorgeous looking. And Kimpton is also, that looks like he's attached a camera there to it as well. And
I think we've got an issue though, having a look at one of the vehicles heading up there. Yes, definitely a problem up on the track somewhere. I don't know if our cameras will pick up on that action a little bit further up the field. So let's see whether or not there is an issue. We don't see anything on our camera, so it might be just out of shot. An issue on one of the cars. Looking at Steve Kimpton's Lotus, exactly as you said. Yellow wheels on that car, the yellow stripe down the middle with the Lotus green. And there you can see exactly what that Lotus is all about. They're going to pull him just to the sideline and off the start line.
it's the colours that I think of as a kid. Those are Graham Hill colours. In
100%,
my mind, those are
100%,
Graham
yeah,
Hill
there he
colours.
goes.
So it's just one of those things. So yeah, Kimpton has definitely got himself a problem of some sort there. And the rest of the crew will start coming through here and filtering by. Because now, of course, the problem is if you've got this kind of a problem right at the start line, 4 or 5 deep, they've lined up behind you, ready to go, and that you've got to wait your turn now to try and roll back to the pits, if at all possible.
Well, the one grace he has is that he doesn't have to run tyre warmers on those road-going tyres because they've got a little bit extra grip. He's one of the cars that possibly doesn't have any tyre warmers, including the 2 cars behind him, the MGB GT Rover and that little Mini. So I don't think they're going to be too concerned about having to wait on the sideline, but there is certainly an issue somewhere on track because one of the course vehicles made its way to the top end of the circuit to see. We haven't quite picked up on what that issue is. If it is any issues, it could possibly be with Craig Wessels in that Pontiac GTO because Andrea Linker, Gary, Aaron, and Gavin Rook have all crossed, but we haven't got a time yet out of Craig Wessels
you're right.
in that big American muscle machine.
I think that may be it. And just for interest's sake, let's update you on the timing at the moment. So Gavin Rook nailed down a 53.179, and Van Schaik gave it as good as he got because he was just a little bit more than a second behind, 54.212, and then Gary Burnt with 65.02, and Andrea Linker, I think she abandoned her run because she crossed the line in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so there's no doubt she may also actually have some sort of a problem up at the top there, and they're trying to clear the road.
Well, I'm just watching some of the feed coming out of ILEB. Gary van der Spey is in our studio as well.
Join us
You think so? Yeah, there's definitely stuff happening. That is for sure. Arnie's just jumped out of studio. He's gone down to get some official results for us and also just to sign in. He hasn't quite signed in as an official media yet, so he's just gone down there to bring us up to speed as to what's happening with, of course, qualifying 2. We're in the thick of qualifying 3 now after a few little incidents on the hill that to be sorted out. Nothing majors. just getting things all sorted out and getting the track completely clear. We do not want any interference on the circuit at all, and that's why the COC made a call there quickly to get it all sorted out. So on track at this stage, we continue with qualifying 3. Chris Champion, Steve Kimpton, Chris van der Walt, and Ashley Bowd out there now in their vehicles. And of course, Champion is in that MG Rover, the Sebring coloured machine. That's the yellow bumpers and light metallic green car on the top of your screen. The Lotus 23 is on the bottom of your screen as we go back to the start line and pick up on the Alpha. Now, we've been talking about the fact that we've got people all around the world joining us via our live stream, but people from all around the world have also joined us here live in the studio, and it's great to have Kai and Dave all the way from the US of A. What are you guys doing here?
Well, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and Dave's here from Sacramento, California, but for me this is my 3rd year competing as a driver in the hill climb, so I'm going to be running a V8 Masters tomorrow with Dave as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. So the V8 Masters boys have given you some toys to play with, and I can tell you those cars are pretty impressive. The APV bodies on them, I think they run the 357 V8 if I'm not mistaken. Very competitive class here in South Africa, and of course they run as a single mate series, as you know. But in terms of a hill climb car, what's it like, Dave, to be at the helm of one of those big machines?
Well, I've had a little bit of experience in NASCAR and Trans Am and some heavy horsepower vehicles in America, and this will be my first hill climb to attend, so I'm going to treat it with some respect. I could tell you this hill right now demands a lot of respect, and want to get out there and take it real easy initially. Try to put the power down, get some forward bite, but these cars are comfortable right away. I just took one up the hill.
All right, cool. Sorry, Dave, I'm going to ask you just to jump in on this mic. Sorry, we've got a little issue on our 3rd mic there, so we're just going to re-ask that question. Speaking to Dave, you know, being in a V8 amongst a pack of V8s is pretty impressive. Hearing your comment, and the people that are watching us on live stream didn't quite get that first comment, so just rehash that and say, you know, with a bit of NASCAR experience, it's not the same as being in NASCAR where you got a whole bunch of cars around you. It's you, the car, and the hill, buddy.
It is the hill. It's just it's a road. It's not a racetrack, but that's what makes it so much of a challenge. It commands a lot of respect. I plan to treat it that way, take my time with it. But really the V8s are kind of up my alley with my background and big horsepower cars, and looking forward to getting an opportunity to perform in front of the fans here. I can't say enough about Africa. It's my first opportunity to come out here. I've never been here before, and thanks to Jeff Goddard and his son Kai, they made it possible for me to have an opportunity to do my first hill climb. And so thank you guys.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm so stoked that you guys are here because I'm a big NASCAR fan. I always have been. In fact, a lot of people that know me from the word go have always said to me, you should have been born in America because that's where you should be and what you should be doing in terms of the job I do on a microphone and the love of motorsport that I have. I've got a whole bunch of family over there, kind of not blood relatives, but American mom, Jan Winfrey, who stays in Utah, and she's actually been jumping in on our live stream feed every now and again, chatting about the fact that she's enjoying what we're seeing and having a bit of motorsport experience behind her son, etc. But you know, the cool thing about what we're doing here today and what we're doing on our live stream is it gives us an opportunity to get the likes of drivers of your caliber, drivers of caliber that race here in South Africa all the time, guys that are showing interest in this event from all around the world. And I think from Kai's point of view, just to get Kai to jump in here, you've brought a friend of yours over from the States. He's going to go home and tell his friends about this, and hopefully more and more people are going to get excited about hill climb here in Knysna.
Yeah, without a doubt. Here in the U.S., the biggest hill climb is really Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
I have friends that do that race. I think I'm going to go there in June myself to go watch. But this here, if you look out the window right now, the crowd that's here just for Friday alone, the camaraderie and the kind of spirit of this event, and the fact that cars move so fast and so frequently. And then for us, the fact that, we're up the hill in 44 to 45 seconds, Yeah,
it's not the 18 Ks you got to do at Pikes.
No, but it's a serious adrenaline rush. It's really quick, it's fast, and I kind of approached it last year like a big long drag race with a whole bunch of turns.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy to have, I got to tell you. But going back to the fact that you've brought a couple of mates over and a couple of extra guys are going to be looking at this. We've got guys already showing interest on our live streaming feed because they've been asking how we get involved, what the contact details are, etc., etc. So slowly but surely, this is growing into an event that is no longer just what we like to call the premier category or the premier event in South Africa in motorsport. It could potentially become a big event in world motorsport as well.
Absolutely. I mean, without a doubt. For me, this is my 3rd year, so I've been able to watch it grow. And obviously having my dad's involvement and understanding where this started 10 years ago and where it is now, it's incredible. And it's obvious that it's only going to get bigger and better, and there's so much attention here alone. I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And look, we're talking about Pikes Peak. I don't know if you're aware that there's a Pikes Peak toy in one of the back of these semi-trucks at the back here. It's going to be rolled out tomorrow for the very first time, and I think Franco's going to give a lot of people a bit of a scare when that machine rolls out for the first time onto the black stuff.
Yeah, is this the black car I've been seeing online?
That's the one.
The carbon, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a threat to the F1 Gould that, of course, Andre Bessedino piloted to a 35.5 last year.
Yeah.
He's already said to me yesterday in our little insert we did at the beginning of the day that he's looking for a 34 or maybe a little bit less. I said to him, listen, Kevin Schwann's time up this hill will be amazing.
Yeah, that car is incredible. I saw it yesterday when we were coming in. It was loaded up down at the bottom there. And, Andre's a cool guy. I've spent a lot of time with him. And we were testing in Cape Town last year. Is just a salt of the earth kind of guy. He came and hung out with us when we were kind of shaking down the V8s, and he's a cool guy.
Awesome stuff. Well, one more question to you, Dave. What are you expecting from tomorrow? I mean, you talked us through what your strategy is going to be. You're looking to sort of get into the finals for Sunday and potentially be there?
I definitely am looking forward to the finals on Sunday. If I can make it in there, it'd be a home run trip for me. But I'm looking up at this hill and kind of studying the corners, and I'm trying to associate them with a lot of corners back home. My home track, Sonoma Raceway, formerly called Sears Point Raceway.
Yeah, Sears Point,
California.
yeah, for sure.
That's where I teach and instruct for 20 years now, and it's my home track. And there's a lot of similarities to the S's up there.
Correct.
Sears Point's very similar, so hopefully that'll play into my hand a little bit, give me a little bit more comfort zone. And just try to wheel this V8 Masters as good as I can for the fans, and try to showcase some skills without making a lot of mistakes, because obviously the consequences are pretty huge on this hill, not having a lot of runoff. So you got to be perfect. It's an incredible opportunity for me. I just want to thank a few of my sponsors, Fixie Wheels. Make sure you take a look at Fixie Wheels. They're one-off bespoke wheels that are making this happen for me. Sonoma Harvest, Olive Oil Company, Baker Energy Team, a solar company that's partnered with Cool and the gang out here in South Africa. And also Home Advisors, Home Repair Advisors, roofing company. So all my sponsors, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have been here without them. And I certainly couldn't have been out here without Kai Goddard and Jeff Goddard leading the way and giving me some instruction on how to make something happen out here. So
all right. So on that point, now anybody that's watching via our live stream or anybody here at the event that wants to get involved and possibly get a return of the favor, I'm going to send them your way and say, right, if you ever want to get out to Southern California or out to Arizona, here's the two guys to chat to. They, I'm sure, will hook something up for you on an American soil basis and give you guys a chance to have a bit of a return of the favor and a little bit of American hospitality, because I know it's always big when the hospitality comes from the U.S.
Yep. Invitations wide open from any South African.
Yes,
as far as I'm concerned,
I'm putting my hand up right now.
Has been amazing. So thank you, fans. Thanks for the welcome, and hopefully we can put on a good show for you guys this weekend.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you're going to come join us tomorrow. Come and give us a little insight as to how the first day went. We'd really appreciate that. But yeah, from our side here in the studio, great to have two of our top American drivers here. It's going to be entertaining tomorrow as we see Johan de Vrein about to entertain us now with a little 911 RSC. So back on track now with our action in qualifying 3. Kai, Dave, thanks so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All the very best, and have a great weekend, gentlemen. Looking forward to that. Okay. So there you have batteries and all his own sponsors. But for this weekend, joins Team Red Racing as part of Universal Healthcare's input to the Jaguar Samola Hill Climb. Remember, they are our official medical team here this weekend and have helped Willie Hepburn come down and get himself sorted. Graham Nathan, he's definitely a man to watch out for. And if everything goes according to plan now, I was just checking the temperature as you stepped out the room. It has dropped ever
Yes,
so
it
slightly
has.
in terms of ambient temperature.
I could feel it, actually,
17
outside.
degrees as opposed to the 20 we had earlier on when you arrived. So cooler temperatures now means cooler track temperatures, which means that these guys are going to battle for grip on the track, starting to cool down rapidly here.
Well, Graham Nathan, his workshop's just above Kyalami there. If you drive past Kyalami, you'll see his workshops up there, and he's kept this BMW of his in absolutely immaculate shape, and he can really race it up this hill as well.
Part of Team Old Dog Racing. Of course, the Old Dog himself is here in his 2002. That is Peter K. Eddy. And if you look at the stable that Peter K. Eddy has assisted in his career of 45 years involved in motorsport, not only is it Graham Nathan he's helped out, but if you take any of the BMW drivers from the sort of early 80s into the 90s, going from Standard Group N into touring cars, into SAT cars, into production cars, etc., etc., every South African champion at one point in his career was helped out by
Went
Peter
through
K.
his
Eddy.
hands, yep.
And there's the man behind his own car now having a jaw.
Beautiful. Some of the times, Peter van der Spey has just clocked 45.01. That's the quickest we've had today so far. Am I right? No, not quite.
No, it's not the quickest so far, but it's quicker than his own
Yes,
time of a
absolutely.
46.296. So he's gone almost a second quicker
Yeah.
than what he did in qualifying 2.
And then Roy Campos has also laid on a 47.5, and Josh Dovey is third at the moment at 49.2, but there is no doubt he is going to get knocked a bit further
All right,
down.
so Josh Dovey coming in at 49.2 would put him into 9th place after Q2. Campos has gone quicker than what he did in Q2 on a 48.333, so already massive improvements. And it just shows that maybe you and I should step out here because we don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about track temperatures being colder, no traction available, and they all go quicker.
And look at that, yeah.
What the hell's that all
Should we
about?
just keep quiet for the
Let's
next
just go
15 minutes?
overall. But Nico van Rensburg now 3rd. Pretorius looking for a potential. No, Tuck beats him.
Tuck goes in fact
Yeah.
50.14. That's
What
a big
run
one.
there from Trevor Tuck, taking the win in H6 ahead of Jan Pretorius in 2nd place. So that's how it's going to line up now with the last couple of cars making their way down. Now we're going to H7.
Nathan.
Very competitive class here. Barnard's already on track in that big Ford Capri Piranha. And behind him comes Graham Nathan in the 3.2 CSI 6 Series BMW. The Old Dog in Old Dog Racing going to be taking on the oldest dog out there, Willie Hepburn.
Oh, look at the determined look on that face. Boy, he's got the bit between his teeth.
Bogs down slightly, but then gets the grip on the gear change and makes his way towards turn 1. Turn 2 is Castrol, the Universal and Saybat Batteries Opel Record, making its way onto the circuit and pushing hard. Now Graham Nathan is already up into the S's. Look at how Nathan is coming through the S's. He is absolutely flat through there. No holds barred. Look at that. Oh, sliding out of the last turn, up and over the top. And I think Graham Nathan means business.
Up into 4th place overall, 48.4.
Wow.
Nathan let it all hang up. Boy, oh boy, what a run.
He's
King Peter K. Eddy, you've got your play clothes on because you didn't make it through to the final, but you've got Graham in your CSI running.
Yeah, that's right. Graham has had a great day so far, and he's only half a second off the 2 cars in front of him. So we'll see where he'll give it a thrash in the final 10. Yeah, but I've had a wonderful day. It's been really great for me. I did my best time on the hill. I went 102.1, so I'm very happy. I had a wonderful time.
You haven't stopped smiling all day. It's been an awesome day out.
Yeah, fantastic. Really great day. Wonderful day today.
And I think that sort of sums it up. Thanks a lot for the entertainment again, Peter. We look forward to a good result for your team in the top 10.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Colin.
So, guys,
Pleased about that. It is good news. Nathan up next in that beautiful silver Beamer. It is sounding absolutely rude.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to hold back to this section as well. You know, he didn't push it too hard, although when I say that, he was literally lit through the S's. But I think maybe he's got something special here for top 10. And if he gets into the top 5, that'll be an amazing achievement there for a BMW that shouldn't really be running. 3-litre CSL. It's lined up. Nathan at the wheel. Grumpy gets away. I like to call him unbelievable, Graham Nathan, because what he does in a car is pretty much unbelievable.
Looking to go faster. He's clocked 48.2 twice already in his runs today. Those were his 2 fastest runs. Let's see what sort of a line he takes there. Very aggressive in that first one. That first right-hander is into turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, and as he heads up towards turn 3 now, you can see him hugging that inside curb coming out of Castrol up towards the bridge now. A very good run here. Look at the wide line. Remember, he has, and I'm not going to give him the commentator's curse here, but remember, he has had a couple of outings where he didn't quite make it onto the grey stuff that they play on here, and ended up in some of the green stuff on the sideline in this car. So they've had to rebuild this car on a few occasions, but him behind the wheel is the ideal man to have in your team, and I'm sure Peter K. Eddy is thinking to himself, we got a chance of a top 5 here.
He really is going as tight as what he possibly can. He's used the
Straightforward. Jeff Goddard,
Speed things up.
You've-
asked him to do a donut, but he's...
just look at the effort that he's putting into the steering wheel. Jeff Goddard, from an organizer's point of view, how have things run?
It's been tremendous. Year on year, it gets better and better. It's what we wish. It's what we work for. Really tremendous.
And tell us about the hat. There's a story behind that.
Okay, it's Classic Car Friday. We're asked to dress in period.
I did. I wore my period jeans.
Our title sponsor is Jaguar. Otherwise, you would see me in some old BMW attire. But I was allowed the Hood Tirol, as they say.
And that's a hat that Hans Heyer used to wear.
That's correct, yeah.
Where's your feather?
It's not part of it. I was not given one of those. I think you have to at least drink another 10 pints of beer before you qualify for that kind of thing.
Jeffrey, thank you very much for everything that you do. We just want to have a quick chat with third place.